Hi everyone. So yesterday we did our first track test. It was good to see all of you there and give all your effort for 3,000 meter time trial. That was great. So, like I said before, a 3,000 meter pace, a good 3,000 meter pace is very close to your VO2 max pace, if not right at your VO2 max. So we got everyone's time. I've age graded those times. So age grading is based on your world standard, not really regional standard. So it may not be relevant if you're looking at how you compare regionally. But if you wanted to know how you compare with others in the world according to your gender and age, then this is, representative. And it's also good to use when you're older and wanted to know how your current performance compares to a previous time when you were younger and had more vigor. So, for example, if you're 45 and you could just run a 1 hour 10K, how does that compare to when you were 25 years old and ran 55 minutes? So this is good to know. On this column is the estimated VO2 max. This is using a model that's designed by Dr. Pietro di Prampero. He's from Italy. He's a great running researcher. He's been writing. He's been writing papers and researching stuff on running energetics from the 1970s. He's one of the preeminent scholars of running, and I do talk to him once in a while, and I know how this model works. So full credit goes to him. This model accounts for the energy cost of running outdoors and the wind, so it fully accounts for that. So it's a more representative VO2 max for outdoor running conditions. And the chances are, if you were to go and test yourself and spend massive amounts of money, test yourselves indoors in a treadmill under a trained technician, you probably will find similar figures. Okay. So that's not the meat of the matter. The meat of the matter comes here, where I take your 3,000 meter time and I do some mathematics with it and try and find out what each of you could run for 6 minutes. So I take that 3,000 meter time and I translate that to 6 minutes. What could you sustain for 6 minutes? The idea being that on average, human beings can run at their velocity or the VO2 max speed or the VO2 max pace only for 6 minutes. On average. Some runners could do 8 minutes. Some could maybe only sustain 4. But you will not be able to run at velocity at VO2 max or VO2 max pace for greater than that. You're just going to fall face flat on the ground. Because we have our body doesn't work like that. We can only sustain our VO2 max for a limited amount of time, finite amount of time. So this red column here, red numbers, is your average VO2 max pace. Now the golden the golden numbers are here. Okay, the critical max pace is nothing but 90% of your VO2 max pace, and that was what I was trying to get at. Is what is a suitable pace we can all run at with which we can hit both our lactate threshold and our upper aerobic capacity. Time is short. We don't have a lot of time to train. We're busy professionals. So we can consider a critical pace as a best bang for your buck pace, right? Best bang for your buck pace. This pace may differ from, calculators that just spit out numbers online. I know most of you might be using calculators, but they don't know you that well. The beauty of this spreadsheet is that for the most part, I know what most of you can do for everything from a 5K up to a marathon. And I've modeled your fatigue curves. So this 6 minute VO2 max pace is based on everyone's individual fatigue curve. So it's individualized in a certain way, right? So that's the beauty of this. And so therefore the critical pace is also different, okay, for everyone. For example, let's see, Katie, she has a critical pace of 8 minute 32 seconds per mile, which translates to 5 minute 18 per kilometer. Now, translating that to track paces, where we train with time, and then GPS is not really relevant there, that translates to around 207 per lap per 400 meters. Whereas you look at Ibrahim, the top men's, who did a 3,000 meter time of roughly 11:10. So Ibrahim's time will be 134 per 400 meter, very fast. Okay, if you were to do 1200 meter or 1600 meter repeats, 134 is a very good pace to train at, and that's his baseline fitness. Another thing I want to point out is that these paces that we have here is not really different than what we were doing last November on the track. So let's take Katie, for example. She has a critical pace of 207 per 400 meter. And if you look at the spreadsheet that we had going on for last year, which I shared with you, the Jupiter pace was 205 per lap. When we used to do 4 into 4 minutes for these, after starting with an 8-minute time trial, 8-minute interval, we would do 4 into 4 minutes. 205 is 2 seconds per lap faster than what we actually know now. So it's a little bit slower, but my hope is that because it is slightly slower, you should be able to sustain a lot more of these intervals without breaking down. And so this is really individualized, and this is great. So I have track group assignments for everyone here. So Katie will continue to remain in Jupiter. She progressed from Mars to Jupiter, so she made that transition, which is great. And then the others in Mars, Silly, and Rund, not really beginners, but they're just a level above beginners. So great to have them inducted into Mars. Ibrahim, Walid, and who else? Aboud, yes. You guys will be in Pluto, of course. We know that. And your paces, if you look at it, Ibrahim is 134, Aboud is 137, El Walid is 138. So you guys are all very similar. So when we run as a group next time, yes, we can run as a group, but I need you guys to observe your timing per lap. Okay, this is where you get to hit your system in the best way without breaking down. But we will, for all practical purposes, be in the same group. So that's really the long and short of it, guys. That was what I was trying to get at. Running is mostly all mathematics, and then 5% is the mental stuff that you give out. Sometimes mathematics is not right. All models are useful, but all of them are wrong. They're not 100% right. But let's hope that these paces are more representative of our fitness going forward, and let's put in about 4 to 6 weeks of training with these paces. Thank you.